see if I can answer all your questions here in this statement. I'm very happy to do that. Feel like I've never left, and being a part of the rich tradition here at Syracuse, I think it's important that you always try to take time out and try to give better opportunities for the younger generation that follows. In this facility here, donating money and still giving time and effort to come back and talk to some of the guys and communicating with some of the alums who have graduated with me. I had an opportunity of being on the same playing field. We want to just kind of give better opportunities for guys who dream of coming and wearing the Syracuse uniform, dream of coming and graduating from Syracuse University, and that's something that we've all tried to come together and make better. For a better place, and being here in this facility brings back a lot of memories. A lot of this stuff didn't look like this when I was here, but yet it still has that same kind of feeling walking through those doors. And it just feels like you walk around the corner, probably trying to tell me to go in the weight room or go do something. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy watching all our Syracuse teams and the support, and just look forward to great things happening in the future.
Take your questions.
You're a kid who picks up the football dreams of the NFL, but when you first stepped on campus, did you ever think that you would have the career you've had, not just here, but even afterwards?
Absolutely not. I think for a lot of us, and not just athletes, when we take another step and another challenge, we think about the next thing. We don't think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. We focus on what we have to do the next day. And for me, it was walking through those doors and trying to figure out how I was going to be in practice, going to class, how we're going to get to class, we're going to be in the right class, and it just continues on each and every day. And as you continue to get older here at Syracuse, you go through your freshman, sophomore, junior year. By your senior year, you just start to reflect on how fast it's went. From walking through the doors as a freshman and mom and dad dropping you off, you pretty much driving home after you graduate. All the way from Syracuse and kind of think about the good times. So. At this particular point, just reflecting, back now, it just brings a smile to you. Some of the dumb things that we did while we were kids, to some of the things that kids are getting caught with now with the social media, it's pretty scary.
Is there a moment, looking back on your Syracuse career, either on the field or off, that maybe sticks out above the rest?
Well, for me, it could easily be the athletic side of things. But for me, it was walking across that stage and graduating here at Syracuse University. It was one with being the first in my family to graduate from a 4-year university, receiving my degree in which I'm utilizing now in speech communication, getting some experience in broadcasting. And that was part of my decision as a high schooler coming here. I know that athletically where I would be able to do be able to compete at a high level versus some top teams, but most importantly, gain that experience and become a broadcaster when things were done, and where it would be able to give me opportunities in that field. So it's a wonderful thing for me, and to talk to guys like Rick Wright, who I talked to when I first got here, and still stay in communication when we run into each other either in the meetings or wherever, but just we begin to reflect on from the beginning to where we're at now.
A lot of fans kind of look at those teams you were on as kind of Syracuse's heyday when they were perennial top 25 team. Do you think that this program can get back there given all the changes in college football and where things are?
Absolutely. I've always felt like, for a college and NFL team, you can't win without a quarterback. And when you establish that quarterback, and that's your quarterback for years, then you can begin to build around it. They have some talented players here at defense that flies around. They have the athletic guys at the skill position. But I think what you've seen is a glimpse of a young man in T. Hunt that could possibly be the quarterback for years to come. He has all the intangibles, the strong arm, the attitude, the brains, and that's where it starts. And everything will begin to follow as he gains experience all throughout this year and for years to come.
Donovan, throughout your career, you were criticized at times, probably unfairly, by the media. Is it weird do you consider yourself one of us now? And when you criticize guys, is it weird?
No, I don't see myself as one of you guys. But the whole thing about it is that it made me who I was. And you have to be able to take criticism and use it positively. And I've used that as motivation each and every time throughout my playing days. And at this particular point when I'm doing what I'm doing, if I criticize somebody, I try to not to make it personal, just from what I've seen, and hopefully they'll do the same thing I do. Take what I've seen and what I've said, and use it in a positive light. Whatever I can do to motivate others. My thing for me is I like to mentor a lot of the young guys who are not just in football, but just any other sports or any challenges that they're facing. I've been through the ringer, so to speak. I've had highs, I've had lows, and I think it's for all of us to be able to give back and show your experience and explain to them of ways of handling it and making it better in the future for them.
What do you expect from our draft?
Feels like back in '99, coming out of that time. I look around and see some of the familiar faces that I played with, guys who played such a major part throughout my 5 years here. To come back and have them be a part of it is special, and the energy to be high. I really look around inside, and I'm going to try to treat it just like we play in Miami. That last game in the Dome, 66-13, probably y'all were like 6 or 7. But, don't make me feel old, but it was a wonderful time, one which I've always will remember. For myself and Jason, being seniors in that game, and the last time we played Miami, we approached it just like it was our Super Bowl. Coming out of that tunnel Saturday, so I'm going to approach it like it's coming out of the Super Bowl tunnel, looking at my teammates and just being able to take it on with them.
Well, I seem pretty excited to get a chance to meet you. Have you had a chance to talk to him yet?
I haven't. And after we're done here, we're going to get a chance to sit down and talk with him. I've watched him since he first started. I didn't want to bother him during the season. Obviously, Coach Baker was trying to make a decision at that time. Just enjoy the progression. Enjoy what they've been able to do while he's been under the helm. And he's a talented player, strong arm, can make plays. And one thing that I enjoyed was defensively. I had a young quarterback in Hunt. On the other side, he had an experienced quarterback in Todd Boyd. Very similar careers. Maybe seeing the type of career that Todd Boyd had this season. Maybe see Hunt in about 2 years. Then they'll be talking about Syracuse football.
Time for a couple more questions.
Reminisced a little bit on the stupid things you did. Any fun stories that you can share with us?
Absolutely not. Those are kind of buried up on Sky Top, or might be down on Marshall Street. I don't know, but those are things that stay kind of hidden. Let's just say we had a great time.
Donovan, you mentioned your teammates before. What are some of those relationships that withstood the test of time that you're proud to call friends even today?
Well, when you can pick up a phone and call your starting backfield, you can talk to Ian and Kyle McIntosh. You can talk to Rob Conrad, or you look at your receivers and you pick up a phone and call Kevin Johnson, or when you see Quentin Spotwood, or any other tight ends and Kasim Cincino and Roland Williams, and you're thinking your offensive linemen with Harvey Pennypacker and Scott Kiernan and all those guys, the Pilon brothers, or on defense and see Jason Bowles, Antoine Pons, Keith Willett, Kevin Abrams, Rod Gatson, Philip Nash, those particular guys that may not be names that click with you guys, but when I look at highlight films and think about the Gator Bowl, think about the Liberty Bowl, think about the Orange Bowl, those bowls in which we spent time together and laughed and joked and played cards to, all of us now with kids and married and, thinking about what we're going to do as a family together and, watching kids kind of grow up and be men and be beautiful women. That's something that stands alone in us being here in this facility, because when you leave here, it's what do you do next? And those relationships are something that you cherish.
I think a final question for Donovan.
I know it's an experience you had in Philadelphia earlier this year, but what will the emotion be like when you finally see that curtain come down and you see that number 5 up there in this place that you love and you well?
Well, they're very similar, but this is where it started from. It's for a university that didn't retire numbers. For 44 to continue on for so many years, and we know of the likes of Ernie Davis and Jim Brown, and Floyd Little, and those guys, and then Rob played with me, wore 44. To have that number finally retired, and now to look up and see your number up there with Don McPherson. Donnie Mack was a guy that I heard so much about when I got here, and we became great friends. A guy who played in Philadelphia before I did. So Donnie Mack obviously was coached by Coach McPherson, and I had Coach P, so we kind of have an ongoing battle with who was the better coach that we had. Just like the coaches have an ongoing battle on who's the better player. But that's the fun things about, when you can look up and see 44 retired, when now you can look up and see number 9 and then have your number up there with those guys. That's a special feeling. And when my kids grow up and receive hopefully scholarships or come to Syracuse University to play, they can look up and know that their daddy finally did something. So, you know how you young generation, you don't think your father did anything. So that's something that they can watch and look at and say, okay, he did really do something.
Thanks, Donovan, very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming
All
out
right,
today.
guys.
Thank you.